Hello everybody, Kay here on the homestead, and I just wanted to jump on here real quick today to let you know it's time. All the preparations that we've been doing, well, it looks like it's time for things to start happening closer to home. If you're following the news, you know that a number of governments have fallen in the last few days. The Sri Lankan president fled for his life on a boat as the entire populace stormed the capital. The Afghan president, I guess, just fled the country. I'm just hearing about this now. And of course, Shinzo Abe, Japan's ex-prime minister, was shot and killed while making a speech. Israel's president is not seeking re-election. The UK prime minister just resigned. 50,000 UK ministers resign. I'm just getting news right now. So that was actually news to me. And of course, the last time I was on, I was talking about all of the food processing plants all over the place that are being mysteriously burned. And yesterday, Oklahoma's natural gas plant burst into flames. That's one more on a very long list. And this will especially affect California. There's a new regulation. California self-employed truckers face some sort of new regulation, and they face a shutdown. And 70,000 truckers bringing produce into California, stopping that bringing into California could make a huge impact on Californians already going through drought and other problems. So it's time, folks, to get real. This is a wake-up call, and I want you to go over all of your preps and be satisfied. I'm sorry, I'm going to read my notes because I just don't want to forget anything. Be satisfied that you have water, access to fresh water, or the ability to filter water, your backup power systems, whatever they may be. And if you're not in a place, if you've already decided, you know you're not in a place where you can have a backup power system, have your plan B where you're going to go if the power does go out for an extended period, which it could. They're already calling for rolling blackouts in Texas for sure. So I just wanted to add to a few things that, you know, when I just did my recent video, my Walmart haul, of course I have been preparing for a year. So that was just an additional trip, and I showed you what I bought on that additional trip. But I have been not hunting and gathering, I haven't been hunting, but I have been gathering for a year now. So, but I did want to add some important things, namely feminine products. You need to have all of those products, all you gals need to have all of those products that you need. Have a good supply of those. And I wanted to mention raw honey. You know, honey has been used as medicine for at least 4,000 years. And it's just one of God's gifts to us for health and wellness. So make sure you have raw, unprocessed honey, because it is loaded with essential enzymes that can help us stay healthy. And of course, vitamin C. Vitamin C comes in a lot of forms. You can get a lot of vitamin C from your fruits and vegetables. But if they're in short supply, you need to have vitamin C. You want to stay super healthy during this stressful period. If things do shut down, it's going to be stressful. And we want to keep our health up. I mentioned medicines in my survival challenge prepping videos that I did in the winter. But I just want to reiterate that if you look at your medicine bottle and you've only got 10 pills in there and you know that you need 1 or 2 a day, you need to get a refill. or two and have a supply. So make sure you have all the different kinds of medicines that you need. Like, you can't just drop any old thing into your eye to wash your eye out. So you might want to get eye wash, you know? Got to protect our eyes. I just bought a couple more boxes of little bottles of eye drops because I do need those. And of course, glasses and contacts, if you wear those and you need those, make sure you have a supply, at least a 3-month supply. Pick up some of those really cheap, inexpensive readers because, I mean, as someone who has to have lenses of some kind, because I have a number of different, I have reduced close-up vision, reduced distance vision. I have to have middle vision support because I have some astigmatism. So as someone who has to wear lenses of some kind, you know, you've got to think of these things. So if you pick up a handful of those readers, at least you can see, at least you can focus on, you know, something. I mean, I was just with my mother yesterday, and they've got some readers sitting on her nose like this, and she's looking at me like this, you know, because she has macular degeneration. And I just think, gosh, there has to be some kind of something that I could get for her so that she doesn't have to, you know, forcefully squint. So anyway, back to this. Make sure that you have what you need so you can see, especially if the lights go out. You want to be able to see the best you can. Okay, let's see, duct tape. I mean, that is just such a useful thing. And this past weekend, I was with my son was here, and we went to Lowe's, and I'm just going, you know, I'm just going to get an extra roll because right at this moment, I cannot put my hands on my big roll of duct tape. So I got another one. Twine and lamp oil. Do you have your lamps? Do you have oil for your lamps in case the lights go out? I made a note on here, you know, one thing I'm worried about is, okay, I have my backup power systems. I mean, if the natural gas goes down as well as the lights and the power, well, the lights are the power, the power and the water, I should say. If that goes down as well, because of course the natural gas system facility is run by electricity, the valves and all of that is run by electricity. So should both of those go down, I have a gas-powered backup generator over there that, you know, with enough gas to keep me for, you know, 6 hours or something. But what if this thing goes on for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or longer? I mean, my freezer food, I would be in trouble. So my friend, Teresa, who is my guide on all things food preserving, she is thawing out all of her meat and canning it. And I know a lot of people, a lot of homesteaders and preppers are doing that. I've seen the videos, I just haven't tried it. A little nervous about that. Haven't tried my pressure canner yet for the first time even. But I'm going to this week because my son and I went over to Daryl's, who I've done, you know, a number of videos at his garden. In fact, his viral video of his garden last June has gotten more views than all of my videos put together. People are really interested in his garden. He also showed us how to pressure can beans. So yesterday I went over and Denise, my friend Denise, was pressure canning his potatoes because he has gotten himself injured, both of his wrists injured, he was doing some landscaping work and hurt one wrist, and then he overworked the other one trying to get his garden in with one little trowel. Here come the wasps. And so he can't do the canning, so Denise came over and he was teaching her how. I made a video of that, and that's going to be the next video you see, so stay tuned for that. So I will be doing some pressure canning of potatoes, and while I'm, you know, after I get my feet warm doing that, I'm going to try to pressure can some meat. I've got a lot of meat in my freezer. I can thaw it out and pressure can it. To reiterate, you know, just look at the news. what is happening. Where do we come? I mean, they're talking about rolling out a system in putting a chip under your wrist. They're going to try this system out, I heard, do your own research, in Canada and Sweden. This news was sent to me by a Canadian viewer of my channel. And people will think, oh, this is so convenient, I can do this and just go to my bank, or I can do this and open the door or something. But you put something under your skin, and what does that mean? Just think about that. I mean, someone has control over you as soon as that happens. So do use, what does it say in the Bible? To be discerning. So we have to be discerning about what's going on, and not just be swept up in, oh, this is fun, this is convenient, oh, this is going to make my life easier. No, it's not going to make your life easier ultimately. So think about that. All the preparations we've done is for now. This could happen within days, within weeks. We don't know, but so much is going on in the world that things are really tightening down. And so it's a good time to, when and if this does happen, it's a good time to just stay home and let all this pass, and don't get out and get caught up in it and get emotional. You need to stay calm. If you lose communications, if you lose power, just go out and work in your gardens during the daylight. Just keep doing what you know is right to be doing, which is growing your own food, preparing, taking care of your place, taking care of your families, homeschooling, whatever you're doing at home. Just continue and stay calm. One way I stay calm, this is what I do your own research, but you can, valerian root is known for relaxing, calming the mind, and you can drink valerian tea. You might want to, if you're someone who gets excitable, you might want to cut back on the caffeine first of all, and make sure you have a supply of valerian tea, or I take taurine, which is a supplement, Taurine. Taurine is thought to relax the nervous system. It's not it doesn't make you sleepy, it just relaxes your nervous system. So I don't know if I could have done without that in the last 3 years. Yeah, people have a tendency to act with their emotions and their feelings. You see that a lot in our country right now. Everybody's all worked up and they're acting with their feelings. Meanwhile, look at the rest of the world, It's just like they're overthrowing governments and they're doing this and that. So don't act with emotion. Just stay focused on what needs to be done for survival, for taking care of yourself and your family and your property. And of course that means stocking up on protection. We won't get into that, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, a great thing to think about is if the lights go out, and if you don't have lanterns, and if you don't have enough batteries, you should get batteries, by the way, batteries for your flashlights and things. But if you have landscape lights that are solar lights, I mean, I have probably 24 out there. Well, I have a big yard, but you may not have that many, but I have a lot. And I can just bring those in and light my way all around the house if I want to. So someone suggested that, and I think that's a great idea. I hadn't even thought of that during my survival challenge last winter. There was one other thing I forgot, and that is an oil filter. Remember when I did my Walmart haul, and I was saying that you need to have a supply to be able to change your own oil. You need to have enough quarts of the appropriate oil for your car. And someone wrote and said, you also have to have an oil filter, because you can't change the oil without changing the filter. So make sure you have the appropriate oil filter for your car. And of course, you probably heard that in Canada, the banks and internet providers were down for, I don't know if they're back on, but they were down for a day, and people could not access their bank accounts or even get on the internet, their mobile phones. So, and also Texas, as you know, there have been this unlimited stream of migrants, people coming in across our southern border, and Texas has finally said enough and has instigated the National Guard to help protect their border because he couldn't get any help federally. So, I mean, people have just undocumented people have been hundreds and thousands of people have been streaming across the border just unchecked and being bussed everywhere all over the country, and no one is doing anything about it. I mean, the Border Patrol is got their hands tied, or they don't have enough help or something. So I'm not there. I don't know. I'm just hearing what's going on. Please do your own research on all of this. But I know for a fact from my Texas friends that things are out of control on the border, and I guess the governor is finally going to try to take things into Texas's hands and try to get a hold on it somehow. So a lot of things happening, and we need to be aware, that it's not just their problem. It's our problem. We are in this United States. I mean, we have a unique name, United States. We need to be united. And what was our country founded on? It was founded on the principle of freedom, and freedom of speech, freedom of religion, So we have to keep our minds on what the founders had in mind for us, and be aware of all these things that are going down. It's not isolated. There's not one thing happening here, one thing happening here, and it's not going to affect us. It's all going to affect us because we all have the same money system, and we all operate under the US dollar, for now anyway. And if anything happens to that dollar, where are you going to be? Do you have hard assets? What do you have to barter? What do you have to buy food with? What do you have to buy food with? I mean, cash will work for a while, but then what? So we have to be prepared, and we have to be thinking rationally, factually, and not emotionally. And of course, this goes without saying, your animal feed. I don't have chickens or goats or sheep or cows or anything, and most homesteaders do. I mean, that's really sort of the definition of a homestead, is having animals. And I don't have that yet here because I don't have enough help to just do the garden. And so we'll see if I can manage to have something going like that next year. My big problem is the only thing holding me back from chickens has been, how do I protect them from predators? How do I make use of my chickens to pick through my garden and not have them taken away? But you need to have a supply of anything you need for your animals, from food to medicine to hay or straw or whatever whatever you're using to produce those great eggs with hard shells and healthy birds and all of that. So yeah, hopefully by now you've got a good selection of seeds. And of course, we're sort of dead in the middle of, in the northern hemisphere anyway, we're dead in the middle of our main growing season. And I still have a lot of seeds. I have enough seeds for next year. Even if I didn't save one seed from this year, I have plenty of seeds. But does everyone? You know. So if you see a great deal on some heirloom seeds someplace, I would say grab it. And of course, fertilizer, you know, all those things, like especially fertilizer, that's going to be harder and harder to come by. So of course you can make your own fertilizer, compost and compost tea, and you know, it may get back to just relying on ourselves to do stuff for a while. But things will get better. It just may be rough for a while. You know, you got to expect things to get crazy. If anything like is what is happening in other countries happens, you know, you got to expect things to get crazy, and you want to, and they're gonna act crazy, and all sorts of false flags will be happening. So you want to stay calm and focused and be able to think straight. You know you can't think straight if you get too excited. I mean, I can't, you know, when I'm too upset. I mean, you know, I was very, very, very upset. Well, I'm still upset. You know, my sister, you know, I knew I was a good hour, and it's a lot of traffic today. I was a good hour and 10 minutes away from the hospital, and I was very upset, but I knew that I had to stay focused and drive there, get myself there by myself successfully. And oh my God, getting through that parking lot at Vanderbilt, oh my goodness, and getting through, it was worse than TSA getting into the emergency room. Unbelievable. And I had to go through all of that, and then stay focused. There's a butterfly on my tripod. Let's see. You know, you have to just really be able to get grounded and focus. When there's danger, when there's trouble, when there are power outages and all of that. Stay home, stay calm, do your housework, do your garden. And I mean, the economy could tank. We don't know what's going to happen. We have a serious threat from China and Russia. You know, you poke the bear long enough and bad things can happen. So we have to do all we can to be prepared. And we need to pray. We can't forget to pray, because prayer is so powerful when a lot of people do it. Also, I wrote down paper goods. Of course, you've got that. You've got your canning supplies. Salt. Do you have a large selection, a good amount of salt? And cash. Do you have cash on hand? It's probably going to be safer with you than in the bank if anything like this happens. So, soap and something to make soap out of. So these are just some of the things that I was thinking today. You know, we're all in this together. Obviously, we're all humans. We're all interconnected in this planet. And when one group of people are suffering, it has an effect on all of us. We're not isolated. We can't just think, oh, well, that's over there. That's not going to affect us. Well, guess what? You know, the gas plant just blew up in Texas. They're going to have rolling blackouts, they say. The truckers may stop taking produce to California. Many of our food processing plants, it would be interesting to know how many states have had a food processing plant that has burned down. And this is not coincidence, obviously. You just it's a systematic attack on our food supply. Excuse me. So we can debate all day about why that's happening, but we can't debate about the fact that the plants are burning down. They did. So get prepared, stay calm, and pray. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this is helpful. If it is, I hope you subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Scroll down and click all so you won't miss anything right here on the homestead. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be me over at Daryl's. We had a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun together, but they were they were pressure canning his potatoes. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.